Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, the Super Coach, every week coming into your life to multiply your life, your money, and your business. You know, I believe a good coach will make you have conversations you don't want to have. They'll make you do some things you don't want to do. But boy, they'll help you become something you didn't think you could become. And what will a good coach do for you this week? Expand your mind. Make you think bigger. Never let you go back to your original dimension. Push you, accelerate you. I got to get you out of little bitty thinking. So today's show is called You Can't Go Big If Little Got You. Come on back, Super Coach. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt here live at the Greatness Factory. Just a big shout out to everybody Tuesday afternoon. Man, we had a good day. Had a great day yesterday in Kansas City, Missouri. Flew in the morning, spoke to about 40 or 50 financial advisors. Went over the legacy selling system. Went through why they need to be a zebra and a cheetah. Pushed that Total Growth Academy. Had a great day. Flew back home last night to see my baby girl and my beautiful wife, Natalie. And excited to be with you today. We've already had a big day today. Because I've been working with Churchill Mortgage this morning and then went over and taught my program, Turn Your Managers into Coaches, and then came back to the Greatness Factory to be with you right before being on the Courage Podcast, right? Courage Cast this afternoon. I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Follow me at Micheal Burt on Twitter. Download the podcast. Give me a review. If you give me a review and send me a screenshot or something, we'll give you something from the store for free. Super Coach, download it on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podcast Republic. And one of the things that I believe out there in the world is this. I believe a good coach can change your life. I believe a good coach will help you play at another level. I believe you can't see the picture when you're inside the frame. These are all of the things that I believe. And because of that belief, what we've really done is created coaching structures. And one of those structures is a weekly live podcast with you so that I can come into your life every single week. Or it's a vodcast. You can watch it here on Facebook Live. And today's topic, this hit me the other day. I was 30,000 feet in the air. I was moving along fast. I was sitting up in my mind. My mind was completely captive and free. And I started thinking about expansion. Mind expansion. When I was in the mountains this past weekend, I started thinking about mind expansion. How when we listen to people that have done bigger things than us, that have gone to bigger places than us, that have pushed harder than us, we never go back to our original dimension. But if you never have that experience, if you never get stretched, if you never get expanded, if you never go outside of that, you always play small. And I remember a contract I had many years ago with the state of Tennessee in the prison system, actually. And there was a woman who used to catch me as I came in, and she always said the same thing. She said, you can't go big if little got you. And let me tell you something. Little got a whole lot of people. Little thinking, little action, little results. I know Alan Jackson has a song that used to say, it's all right to be little bitty. And I know I'm a little guy. But let me tell you something. Good things come in little packages. You can't go big if little got you. And so today we're going to talk about this. You have visions of brilliance. Trust me, I had them this weekend when I was in the mountains. I was up there with my family. I had visions that were this big. They were huge. But here's what happens. You see big, but you go small. You see big, but you go small. Why is that? You let people, strangers, family, friends, people close to you, beat the big out of you. Beat you down. Get you thinking, that'll be too much. Here's what I hear. It'll cost too much. It'll take too long. It'll be too hard. You'll never be able to do that. None of the great people ever listen to that stuff, man. None of the great people ever let the world beat the big out of them. And maybe that's what you've been doing in your life is the big has been beaten out of you because of whatever reason. You've let other people do it. Okay? So you've allowed other people to talk it out of you. Maybe you're scripted in scarcity. And I'm going back to my hometown of Woodbury, Tennessee to open a Greatness Factory there, small town, 2,500 people. And it'll be interesting to see how many people accept that. the energy, the change, the movement, right? Maybe you've been scripted in scarcity. We're going to unpack that today. Maybe your whole life you had negative parents. Maybe you've been around negative people. Maybe you lived in lack programming, okay? Maybe you got no exposure. You're living in a fishbowl, a tiny little fishbowl. Okay, and so how do you know that? You're caught up in the mundane and the trivial, in the small. And so how do I know if you let little get you and you got little got you and you can't think big? Is look at the size of your problems. Listen to your language. You know, I look at people's emails and right out of the gate they got an excuse or they got a problem and they're little bitty, small, tiny, trivial actions. You can't go big if you're going to focus on this. I think about my new Total Growth Academy. You're never going to make $830,000 a year if you're worried about spending $83 on your own, on yourself. I mean, on Friday afternoon, I was out in the mountains, and I'm calling people that have indicated interest in our Total Growth Academy. They're demo users. They're in there. They're on the car lot. And I'm like, man, I can't even believe I'm calling you about $83 a month. It's what is that, Brandon? $3 and what a day? $3.30 a day. And you're telling me that you ain't got $3.30 a day to spend on yourself? Listen, you can go big if little got you. So today I'm going to help expand your mind. I got to get you out of Tinyville. I got to get you out of Smallville. I got to get you out of thinking so small that you're worried about things that don't matter at all. And you know what's interesting to me is every morning in my Bible time I've been reading through Ecclesiastes. Hey, now that's a motivational book, right? You get in there and read some of that. Everything under the sun, everything's a vapor, everything's for nothing. And here's some notes I made in Ecclesiastes just today. Okay? Are you working for something or working for nothing? I mean, you can't go big if little got you. Even Solomon at the end of his life said all of this has been in vanity. It's been for nothing. I don't want to get up and work for nothing. I don't want to get up and just not do anything. There's a time for everything. There's a time to tear down and there's a time to construct. Okay, sometimes you got to hold on and sometimes you got to let go. What do you got to let go of? The small thinking. You can't have something big if you hold on to something small. Okay, I don't want work to be driven, my ambition to be driven by envy. I want it to be driven by purpose. Get out of recognition and get into impact. Get out of recognition and get into impact. Your days under the sun have got to be meaningful in the world. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of segment number 1, and then we're coming back into segment number 2. Here is your kryptonite. Kryptonite's the one thing that's holding you back. You're playing small ball. You're majoring in the minors. You're in Tinyville. You caught up in little bitty. You got little problems. You focus on little grievances. Here's your kryptonite. This is the one thing that's holding you back from playing big. You have flashes of obsession. And I'm going to give a shout out to my man Grant Cardone, who wrote 10X Rule, who's got his new book out, Be Obsessed or Be Average. This is by far the best work he's ever done. And I will be honest with you. This taps into a need for a lot of people. I told somebody today, I want to be obsessed with my faith. I want to be obsessed with my wife and my kids. I want to be obsessed with my business. See, here's the deal. You have flashes of obsession and genius, but you let your own brain and other people talk you out of greatness. You let the world beat out the big in you, and you're focused on small and trivial things. You ain't even scratched the surface of how big you can be in the world. You're not even close. And that's what today's show is about. When you come back in segment number 2, we're going to get into some more coaching, because that's what we do all day, every day here. We're going to get into how you go big, how you take action in your genius area versus let the world or people close to you beat it out of you. You're watching Super Coach, and I'm Coach Micheal Burt. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt, and I get asked all of the time, what does a good coach do? See, a good coach should engage you in a set of systematic behaviors that allows you to do something tomorrow you can't do today. They should find and fill your missing structures. They help you break through that ceiling of success that you can't break through on your own. And that, my friend, is why everybody needs a good coach in life. Check out Coach Micheal Burt's Total Growth Academy at CoachBurt.com. Hey guys, welcome back, Super Coach. Every week I come into your life to multiply your life, money, and business. Let me give you some shout outs. You can download this at Super Coach on iTunes. Let me give you some shout-outs. Owen Schrock, good to see you, my friend. You're always there. Peter O'Neill, right there, big dog, right there. Go with it. Proud of you for signing up, spending $83 a month on yourself. Shane Ray, can't see. Hope you can see now, my man. Look forward to seeing you at Monster Producer on Friday. Ivan, bring it, Coach. I'm always going to bring it just for you. Roy Frazier, Will Webb, good to see everybody on there. Give me a shout-out if you're honed in today. You can't go big if little got you. And listen, guys, I played small for a long time. Okay? There's no condemnation on my part. I played small. I focused on tiny, little bitty things. I even catch myself now. And I'm like, man, what is this? We're eating up energy talking about this? You cannot go big if little got you. So the question becomes, why are you stuck in Smallville? Okay? Why are you stuck in Smallville? Why are you living in such a small, tiny place? How do we get expansion? How do we get? Well, we get around people that think bigger. We go to places and we never, when we come back, we get content. We get skilled up. You know, it's a matter of exposure at the end of the day. You know, when I didn't have any exposure to anything, I couldn't get any better. When I got exposure to things, I get better. So that's what I'm looking for, is I'm looking for exposure. That's one reason I like going to New York City. It's one reason I like going to Chicago. It's one reason I like getting out there in the world. Yesterday I was in Kansas City. I like getting out there and meeting new people, seeing new places. That expands me. That makes me think. It builds a diversity. Okay? And part of the reason I wrote the book Person of Interest was it was the concept of living an interesting life, being around interesting people, going to interesting places, making interesting income, helping, making a dent in the world, man, versus playing so small. What did Steve Jobs say to John Scully when he was trying to get him to come to Apple? He said, John, you can sell sugar water for the rest of your life. He was the CEO of Pepsi. Or you can come to Apple and you can help us change the world. You want to sell sugar water or you want to change the world? Now think about that. What he's saying is you're playing so small. So here's the problem with you. You see big, but you go small. You see big. You got grand visions. You got big visions. And it's so interesting. I've had big visions for the Greatness Factory. I see a Greatness Factory in every city in the country. I see big impact in the world. My goal is to impact millions of people. And you should hear the kind of comments that I get from people when I tell them that. Oh, Coach, you're too ambitious, man. Back off, cool your jets, calm down, take it one step at a time. It all happens, and, these are all just memes, really, that are passed on to people, okay? You see big, but you play small, and that's part of the problem, okay? So the second segment, I want to talk about this. How do you take action in your genius area? How do you take action in your genius area, okay? And so when you think of a genius area, I want you to think of a time where you get to a place where visions are flooding you. You've got visions of something grander, of bigger, of what you're supposed to be doing, but you're not taking action on those things. Now, when you read the book, The Self-Made Billionaire, we actually did a show on it. There are 800 self-made billionaires, I think, on the planet Earth, maybe in the United States. I think it's the planet Earth. 800 self-made billionaires, okay? Every one of those billionaires said the exact same thing. None of them had their breakthrough ideas when they were pressured or stressed. All of them had flashes of brilliance at certain times of an idea, of a concept, of a problem they could solve in the world, of something they were supposed to do. I'm thinking of all the ones, there's ones that are flashing through my mind right now of things that I'm supposed to do. I think God said, you're supposed to do this. But for whatever reason, we don't take action. We get a nudge, we get a bump, we get an invite, we have flashes of brilliance. But what do? We go back to Smallville. Why? Our own brain talks us out of it. And there's actually 3 brain abilities. Your brain will cultivate a vision. That's the first ability. Your own brain will talk you out of the very vision that you cultivated. It'll actually tell you all the reasons why you can't do it. Why it's dumb, why it'll never work, why it'll take too long, why it'll cost too much. Most people stop right there with the second brain ability. The brain ability that protects you from danger. But the truly great people, the truly genius people, the truly people that go big, that impact the world, they use that as the raw material to transform those low thoughts of value and convert them to high thoughts of value. And I'm sure everybody's out there and they've had something in their life where they said they had a thought, a vision. They didn't act on that vision because of whatever is scripted in scarcity, small thinking. They didn't take action. Somebody else took action and capitalized on it. Maybe they became a billionaire. Maybe they impacted 1 million people. And you say, man, I had that idea 10 years ago. Yeah, but you didn't do one thing. You didn't take action on it. Okay? There is power in taking action. And so here's the difference in taking action in your genius. You see it, but you don't do it. Why do you not do it? It's a question. Do you not believe in yourself? Do you not believe in the power that you can generate? Do you not believe in the energy? Do you not believe that you can get it across the finish line? What about this? You're inspired. You got inspired at some point. Like I was inspired this weekend in the mountains. You know how easy, Brandon, it is to get inspired when you're up in the mountains? And ideas is hitting you in different directions. And you're like, man, I need to do this, and I need to do this, and I want to do this. You get back on Monday, and it's pure grind, baby. It's pure grind. I was on a plane. I was at the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning. I got to fly to Kansas City. I got to walk around and find a place to eat lunch. I got to speak. I got to get back on a plane. I don't have time to think of these big visions. Now I'm back in the grind. I can't get it done. So you're inspired, but you can't take action. Right, J.C. Moore? Right, Real Weaver? How can you be ambitious? Will Webb said that. Here's what I think. I think that God wired us to take dominion. I think that we were wired to play offense versus defense. I think that we were wired to be ambitious and to push, but we suppress that. You know, we think big, but we play small. And you know why? The power of our environment. Environmental scripting, psychological scripting, what people are telling us. Everybody say play safe, don't take risks, don't go big. Okay? And, I'm working on something right now for my monster producers to do in December. I think will blow their mind, is I'm going to take them to a house that's 25,000 square feet. That's my plan. I'm going to take them to a house that's 25,000 square feet. We're going to have a monster producer from inside there. I want them to see expansion. I want you to see a person that went out, produced value in the market, created wealth, and created a certain style of living. You may not want a 25,000 square foot house. I don't know what you can do and all that, but it's about expansion. You ever been to the Biltmore? Go to the Biltmore and see how Vanderbilt built that house. I mean, it is freaking amazing. I mean, the ceilings and the size and the bowling alley and the swimming pools it was just like, man, this is crazy how people, it's ambition. And so for you, sometimes you see it, but you don't take action on it, okay? And here's the worst part about this. You let people that you don't even know beat that dream out of you. You let one negative comment on Facebook. You let one person who didn't like what you said. You let one person that's not drinking. You let one little bitty comment stop you. You got to make up your mind today that you're not going to let one person deter you from going big. Everybody's trying to get you to play small. You can't go big if little got you. Let me give you some kryptonite to get you out of this segment. And then I got one more segment for you. Kryptonite, the one thing holding you back. Every action you take is small. There is no way playing small. I had this discussion at just this afternoon. I was doing a coaching session with managers. I had one manager that said, you know what? I make $250,000 a year. Perfectly happy with that. One guy said, no, I want to do this much. And here's what I said. You can't go big if little got you. If you want to go big, you got to expand. You can't stay small. And that's the big problem with small business owners. They stay small. 21 million small businesses in the country, one employee. How big can you get with one person, man? You're never going to overcome obscurity. You're majoring in the minors. Listen to your language. Look at the size of the problems you're facing. Money only changes hands when problems are solved. If you're solving small problems, you're going to make small money. You got to find some big, juicy problems to solve. You got to look at the size of your problems. You're watching Super Coach today. When we come back in segment 3, we're going all out and we're going big. Are you scripted in scarcity? Will you get off the fence? Will you listen to your genius? And will you take action? I'm Coach Micheal Burt. You're watching Super Coach. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt. Here's the question for you. Why do you need a coach? So many people don't understand why they need a coach. Well, let me ask you this question. Have you hit a ceiling in your life? You see, we're either dynamic and growing, we are plateaued and static, or we are entropic, which means we're dying. A good coach will come along at that ceiling of success and help you bust through that ceiling. New insight, new strategy, new energy. And here's the real deal. They'll hold you accountable to the good intention you have that you've been falling off the wagon. If you need a good coach, go to Coach Micheal Burt's Total Growth Academy at CoachBurt.com. Sign up today. Super Coach coming on back. Got my blue suit on today. Hey, just want to pop out here and see if Super Coach is underneath there. Got my Super Coach outfit on underneath there, my Super Coach pajamas on underneath me. Right? I'm Coach Micheal Burt, Super Coach, every week multiplying life, money, and business. That's what a good coach will do. I got my new Total Growth Academy out there right now. If you're not signed up on it, I want to say a special shout out to Peter O'Neill, who signed up, Ivan, all the people that are on here, Will Weaver, Will Webb is in Monster Producer. Will Weaver's coming to Monster Producer on Thursday or Friday. J.C. Moore, I still believe in you, brother. You ain't signed up yet. You can't go big if little got you. See, when people log in there and sign up, I get an email, man. I know if you're in there or not. I'm going to come down to Louisiana, and I'm going to sign you up because you can't go big if little got you. Thank you for following me at Micheal Burt. Get the Super Coach Show every single week on iTunes and give me a review. If you review, send me a screenshot, send me something, and we'll send you something for free, man. If you just give me a review, we got to get the podcast up. We got to get the listeners going, and I appreciate you coming out every week, and thank you to all the people doing the Total Growth Academy. Now, here's the problem. Why can't we go big? Little got you. Why does little got you? Scarcity. One word, scarcity. I want you to think of the difference between scarcity and abundance. A scarcity-minded person is always living in fear. A scarcity-minded person is always thinking that there's lack, there's not enough. A scarcity-minded person is always in constant competition with other people. They can't go big because little is just all over them, okay? So scarcity, where does it come from? Scarcity comes from your past scripting. Scripting is the psychological, environmental, emotional factors that touch you early in your life. It can come from parents. It can come from an environment. It can come from friends. I remember when I went to Middle Tennessee State University as a freshman, and most of you wouldn't believe this, but I was scared to death. I was nervous. I was shy. I sat in the back row. I didn't want anybody to call on me. I was intimidated. Why? I came out of a small town. I was a big fish in a little pond, and I went to being a little fish in a big pond. I was completely intimidated. I mean, I was introverted. And if you look up the word introverted, it's a complete immersion of self. It's an introspection. I hear people say, well, I'm an introverted person. I'm shy. What that is it's a focus on self. You're saying I don't want to extrovert and push out and get around other people. And it's going to be hard for you to really be great if you don't want to talk to people, see people, be around people, call new clients. If you got a reluctance or a creative avoidance around that. So scarcity starts very early in life. I actually think I was fairly scripted in scarcity early in life because we were competitive. I was raised by a single mom. She's out there fighting and clawing every single day. We didn't have a lot. You know, I was down at the ball field a lot. I think I had a lot of scarcity. I think that carried over to my early coaching. And then I figured out, man, this is abundance. There's 7 billion people on the planet. You can go to the ocean and get a teaspoon, or you can get a 20-gallon bucket. And the ocean doesn't care, okay? That's one you can tweet out right there. You can get a teaspoon of water, or you can get a 20-gallon bucket, and the ocean doesn't care. And so problem is this. When you're scarcity scripted, you can't break out. You're so limited in your exposure. I believe 90% of people live within 10 miles of where they were born. Okay, I'm one of those people. I lived literally within 10 miles of where I was born. But thank goodness I've gotten out. I've seen other people. I've been around the world. And so so when you're out there, here's the deal. I think some people are just cheap, man. They can't go big because they're so cheap. They're focused on such small things. So here's some lessons to go big, okay? Here's some lessons to go big. Number one, you got to tune out the non-believers. There's going to be enough people that tell you it won't work, it'll cost too much, it'll take too long, it'll be too hard, you'll never be able to do it. Nobody big is ever going to come out of your small town. It's one reason I wrote the book Small Towns and Big Dreams. I got so sick of listening to people say that. Okay? Here's the deal. You got to decide if you're going to go after planet Earth or you're going to go after local. I got a lot of people say this. They want to be big stars in a local town. They want to be big stars in a small town. There's nothing wrong with that. I believe in dominating the backyard before you dominate the whole yard. But you first got to dominate the backyard. I'm thinking about all the people in Monster Producer right now that live in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, or Nashville, or Cool Springs. The first thing you got to do is absolutely saturate and dominate your own backyard. That's my first strategy, is to dominate Middle Tennessee. There's 1.9 million people in Middle Tennessee. Then it's to go regional, super regional, national, international. And that's why I have to get on airplanes. That's why I got to spread the message. That's why I got to go to other markets, is because I can't help enough people in a very small area. But there's 1.9 million people in my area. And so for you, here's the deal. You want to make $1 million, help 1 million people. Solve a problem. I mean, I was watching Shark Tank last night in bed when the whole family was in bed, a replay. Scrub Daddy sold $30 million. The little Scrub Daddy. The little Scrub Daddy dude. Where's the gold necklace? Scrub Daddy watch on Shark. 30 mil. If he can sell 30 million deals of Scrub Daddy, surely to goodness, we can go out there and help 1 million people. But what we've been thinking about helping a few hundred people. I got to get you thinking about helping 5,000, 10,000, 100,000 people. Okay? The next one, okay? You got to fail your way to success. Too many scarcity-minded people don't push hard enough to fail. Let me tell you something. Sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes it ain't going to work. So what? It's about trying and pushing and new strategy, 2.2 millimeter strategy change. And here's the last one. You got to embrace your genius. When you have flashes of genius in the mountains, at the ocean, when you're on break, you got to believe it enough to take it back to your office, and you got to take action on it. It's not enough to have genius up here until you package what's up here and sell it, until you solve bigger and bigger problems. You're not embracing your genius, man. You're squishing it. You've let the world beat the genius out of you. And that's what you got to do. Guys, I want to give you some kryptonite, and I'm going to make an offer to you today. Last kryptonite of the day. Step back and ask yourself, what's the biggest thing you have going on right now in your life? It's a hard question. Will Webb, Carrie Latham. There you go. I like that. Wish I could get rich from listening to you. I love it. I'm motivated by you too. Okay? Little Will, bog you down from the big. That's right. Shane Ray, love it. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. We're going big. We're going big. So here's the deal. Step back right now and ask yourself this question. What's the biggest thing you got going on right now in your life? I ask myself this question. What's the biggest problem I got going on right now in my life? If it doesn't scare you, if the biggest goal you've got right now doesn't scare you some, your goal ain't big enough. Little has got you, and you can't go big if little got you. Here's an offer I want to make to you today as I close out the show. I got Monster Producer coming up this Thursday in Cool Springs, Tennessee. Friday in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We're talking how to dominate social media, how to be a person of interest on social media. So many people are not using this tool like they should, and they need to know how to do it. If you want to sit in on Monster Producer, email me info@coachburt.com. I'll let you watch it live online. I'll let you come in person online. I want to thank the people. And if you're not in my Total Growth Academy getting coaching, $83, $3.30 a month, man. You know what's happened? Little has got you. Go to CoachBurt.com, sign up for virtual coaching. I believe everybody needs a coach in life. I'm already motivated myself. Brandon, you motivated today? We ready to go big. We taking this show on the road, guys. We ain't going small anymore. Once you go big, you never go back to your original dimension. Everybody needs a good coach in life. Thank you this week for letting me be yours. Hey guys, Coach Micheal Burt. How do you find the right coach for you? There's personal coaches, there's life coaches, there's business coaches, there's spiritual coaches. Here's the deal. You got to find a coach you have an affinity with. You believe the same things. I believe trained people always outperform untrained people. I believe coach people always outperform uncoached people. You got to find a coach that you think brings the knowledge and the skill and the desire and the confidence to you that will work for you. I would love to be that coach through my new Total Growth Academy. Go to CoachBurt.com, click on virtual coaching, and get coached by me every day on any device, anywhere on planet Earth.